Rev up your engines!
Well, Joe Biden made his first comment on all those drones over New Jersey, right? And he says, nothing nefarious. The military's checking it out, following this closely. That doesn't make me feel that great. This old guy who doesn't know what's going on, right? Now, of course, on the other side, Trump is saying, hey, what's going on here? Does the military know something? They're not telling us about it. You know, there's always conspiracy theorists for everything, right? Now, we need some facts. How about the military getting pictures of these things? They have radar. They certainly have night vision goggles, night vision cameras. They could take pictures of these things. Are they actually large 6-foot ones? Are they just small ones? These, giant ones coming, and then they made up that thing about the mothership that's off the coast of New Jersey, sending them up, which they proved was total nonsense. There's no Iranian ship out there, right? You'd be able to see that really easy with satellites, right? They can see all that stuff in the daytime. What's out there? You can't hide in the middle of the ocean unless it's a submarine, right? Okay. But if it's this big mothership, you're going to be able to see it. And they said, no, there's nothing out there. So who really knows what's going on? Well, I'd say the last person on earth who probably knows what's going on is Joe Biden. For once, I have to agree with him. I don't think it's anything nefarious. Because if it was anything nefarious, something would be going. Nothing has gone on except them going around. And who even knows what size they are? How about some military pictures of them? And then we can see what's actually going on. Or is it just a bunch of nerds flying their drones and maybe a bunch of them getting together? Say, let's fly our drones together. Oh, we'll scare people. And that's probably what it is. But how about some pictures, you know? There's such things as night vision and radar. They should be able to get some pictures of the real ones in real time and find out what actually is going on. Well, a sad goodbye to Cruise, the self-driving vehicles, right? They are now folding after they lost $10 billion. Now, GM owned the vast majority of it, and General Motors said Tuesday it's cutting off funding to robotaxi research and folding Cruise's technical teams into a GM division that's for self-driving cars that people buy, not robo-taxis. Now, in 2023, they drove people around in San Francisco, but they were forced off the road by regulators because they were running into things, including people. In October 2023, one of the Cruises, if you remember, dragged a pedestrian, and the company hid part of it from the authorities, tried to hush it up, right? Well, it didn't hush up. You can't hush this stuff up anymore, people. Everybody's got phones. There's security cameras all over the place. If somebody's being dragged by a Cruise car, it's going to be seen by one of these cameras, and it's going to go on the internet and blow up. Don't try hiding it anymore. Now, GM owns 90% of Cruise, so, pretty much, they have lost a small fortune on this stuff. And I say, what do you need robo-taxis for? Let the taxi drivers make some money. I like interacting with people, not riding around in some robo-taxi. They lost $10 billion now, GM and that. That's a real smart move there. And here's the horse manure Mary Barra threw out. Given the considerable time and expense required to scale a robo-taxi business, combining our forces is more efficient and more consistent with our capital allocation priorities. What a line of horse manure. In other words, you're stripping the company, you're getting some of the people, and they're going to work on self-driving cars, and you've given up with robo-taxis that drive themselves and take for rides. Here's the hilarious thing. Cruise has accumulated more than $10 billion in operating losses, and it brought in less than $500 million in revenue. So, $9.5 billion down the toilet. Hey, I say too bad. It's to teach these people and these corporations. They're dead from the neck up. Oh, sounds like a great idea. Let's put $10 billion into robo-taxis. Whoops, it ran over a pedestrian. We're going to stop it. We're not going to do that anymore. Hey, look, even Apple gave up with their self-driving cars, and they got an awful lot of money. I believe they only lost $3 billion at Apple. Well, somebody couldn't wait to get their hands on one of those new Cadillac Escalade IQs, their electric Cadillac, so they tried stealing them in Detroit. I'm not making this up. There was an EV heist at a GM storage lot in Detroit, and people tried to steal the Escalades. You can't get one yet. They're not out yet, right? Now, I don't blame them at not buying one because they start at $130,000. They go up to over $150,000, right? They're not going to sell many of these things. I can tell you that right now, but tried stealing it. But when they went out, it got stuck, not boding well for how well it drives. It got stuck on a ridge and the wheels were just spinning. So the front one got stuck Hey, not a good ad for their strong, all-wheel drive electric system, right? It got stuck and it blocked the other one, so they ran away. They didn't catch anybody. They didn't get away with them either. But obviously, they thought they were better than they were. Now, the interesting thing is, I'd like to know, how did they steal them? Those electronic cars have all kinds of anti-theft devices on them. Be kind of interesting. Was it an inside job? Usually it is, right? Usually somebody knows where the keys are, or somebody paid somebody and they thought they're going to, come out of that. But it didn't even make it out. So, back in the day, if they had a big old Hummer, something would have just gone right through the gate and kept going. This one got stuck. So much for how strong they are, couldn't even escape. But I mean, let's face the facts. How many people are going to fork out 130 to 150 grand for one of these electric vehicles? I mean, we'll see when they start going out how many of them sell, but I'm predicting right now, they're not going to sell that many of those things. Not only electric vehicles people don't want, but hey, a fancy one is $150,000? Well, good news. Toyota is dropping the Subaru engine, that boxer four-cylinder engine, from their GR86s. They've always been using that four-cylinder, 2.4-liter boxer engine. There's two cylinders here, two cylinders. And they're finally dropping it, and I say, hooray. Now, Toyota may give you all kinds of reasons. They may come up with all kinds of excuses, but the truth is, they're not very good engines in the long run. There is now a class action suit being taken up against Subaru and Toyota for those boxer engines, saying that they leak oil, the engines blow up because they leak oil, because instead of using regular gaskets and parts of the engine, they use air-dried silicone RTV. Not even heat-sealed stuff, but air-dried. And yes, it seals oil leaks for a short period of time. Then the RTV sealant dries up, cracks, and the oil leaks out. And then you got a big expense. You take Toyota engines, they're not made that way. They have actual gaskets on the valve covers and stuff, so they last a really long time. Why do they use silicone? Because it's cheaper to make them that way, that's why. And anyways, Toyota doesn't even make those engines. Subaru does. Subaru engines. So I think it's smart that Toyota's realizing, hey, we better dump this boxer engine. It's making us look bad too. And they're going to go to a Toyota four-cylinder made engine in the new GR86s. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think they should have ever done it in the first place, but realized, in the first place, the GR86 was just a rebadged Subaru anyways. They were made in Subaru factories. Toyota just didn't want to design a sports car. So they just, okay, we'll call it a Toyota, but no, it's really a Subaru. But now it's going to be more of a Toyota because they're going to have Toyota engines in them. Finally, they made a smart move. Well, here's more bad news for electric car fans. Stellantis is now further delaying the fully electric Ram pickup. If you didn't realize, nobody wants to buy these battery electric trucks. Now they say they're going to put, more emphasis into their hybrid trucks. Now, if you know anything about trucks, the hybrid Ram truck is probably the worst hybrid truck ever made. They're not like a Toyota or a Honda or even a Ford. They're a truck with a regular gasoline engine. Then they have a motor generator that runs off the serpentine belt on the engine, right? It gives it a tiny boost, hardly any gas mileage increase whatsoever. And of course, Stellantis owns Ram Chrysler. Those stupid electric motor generators break all the time on those, and they're garbage electronics. So, again, here we have a European company making something that really doesn't make any sense. They're absolute crap. They break all the time, right? And now they're saying, well, we're going to hold back building the fully electric Ram pickup, and we're going to work on our mild hybrids. Mild hybrids are a joke. Back in the day, ages and ages ago, they tried this stuff. Here's a little boost. It was so tiny, it didn't do anything, which is what happens with the ones that they have now that have these stupid motors that run off the fan belt. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It hardly does anything. So, again, here we go with Stellantis making even more giant mistakes, but at least admitting, well, we're not going to put this fully electric battery pickup truck out for a while, and I say, if ever. Well, the Italians proving they know nothing about the car market. The Alfa Romeo Tonale, they're removing the hybrid from it to make it a gasoline one, right? Hybrids are so popular now. Why would they do that? Well, I've got an idea on that. It's probably because the people at Alfa Romeo don't know how to make the hybrids very well. They make junk anyways, Alfa Romeo. They're always breaking down. Maybe they figured, hey, we can't figure this out. Put the gasoline motor back in. Now, here's the hilarious thing. Does anybody in America really care about anything Alfa Romeo does? The first 9 months of 2023, entire 9 months, they sold 7,590 Alfa Romeos in the United States. Nobody wants those stupid things. They pulled out decades ago. Now they're back. Maybe they'll pull out again, but you never know. You know, Fiat bought Chrysler and then Stellantis took over. It's a European company. A lot of their stuff's Italian, right? They kept trying to push this crap. Nobody really wants to buy the things. How can you make money if you're only selling 8,000 cars a year in the United States? Is it really worth it? You know, there's 112 Alfa Romeo dealers left in the United States, right? It amazes me that they still exist. People want more hybrids. I mean, they don't make any sense at all. Doesn't make any sense buying one anyways. And I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't advise anyone else to buy one either. But the fact that they're dropping the hybrid and putting the gasoline motor back in, it doesn't make any sense. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.